Okay, so welcome, Saturday morning yoga. We are going to start on our backs today to just get centered and ground before we start moving our bodies. So, finding yourself a comfortable position on your back. You can have legs extended if that feels good, or sometimes the low back can get a little achy with that. So, I like to keep my knees bent, feet on the floor, and then I take my feet a little wide and let my knees fall in towards each other. And that way I don't have to use my core to like hold my legs up. And it also gives a little relief on the low back. Um, but whatever feels good to you. This is just a nice resting pose. And I always kind of imagine myself swinging in a hammock in this pose. I don't know why. It just feels like it's so restful and relaxing, and just like I could sway in my little hammock. So I kind of come into this pose and imagine myself like there's a hammock that I spent some time in on a lake in Minnesota, and just taking in the view, the breeze, just a beautiful scene in my head. So if you have a favorite spot that you like to imagine yourself in, just it makes you feel really calm and de-stressified. So wherever that might be for you, maybe you have a favorite place in nature where you like to sit, or um, maybe just in your own backyard. Sometimes that can just be nice and grounding. So find yourself a little spot for the moment and just start to maybe close the eyes and find your breath. Allow your shoulder blades to really relax down into the floor. Relax your face and your jaw. Maybe you let out a little sigh as you arrive here in the present moment. Nothing else for you to worry about or to do. There's really nowhere for you to be right now except for right here. And we're just watching the breath flowing in and out. And of course, as soon as we stop moving and we stop doing, the mind gets really active and starts to, start to come up with all the things. And so just take a moment here to kind of witness and allow the mind to go for a sec. And just notice, just watch. And then bring your focused attention down into your body. So maybe we'll scan from the toes all the way up to the top of the head and just notice what's happening in your body today. You could notice the places that your body is touching the floor. So maybe the back side of the body, the back of the arms. Maybe if you have your feet on the floor, notice your soles of the feet on the floor. Notice your clothing. Where does your clothing touch your body? And then notice the internal sensations. So feel into the legs, the feet, the torso. Where do you notice sensation? So maybe you feel a little rumble in your tummy, or maybe there's a little constriction or tightness somewhere. And just notice. We're just going to land here in our bodies for a moment. Coming all the way up to the throat and the jaw and the top of the head. And we're not here to judge any of these sensations, any of the things that you notice. We're just here to notice and to bring awareness. And then noticing into the feelings and emotions. So notice maybe you're tired, maybe you're grateful to be where you are. Maybe you're a little irritable today. Whatever those things are, just notice for a moment. Maybe this week has been really heavy and emotional for you. We're in the middle of eclipse season, retrograde planets, super moons. I mean, there's a lot going on astrologically right now. And so maybe that there's been some intense conversations or emotions that have been popping up. So just come into witness mode and just notice that. Notice if you're still carrying that around. And then if you like to, you can set an intention for your practice here. So maybe if it has been an emotional or intense couple of weeks, maybe your intention is just to let go. Maybe your intention is to move your body in a way that feels good. Maybe your intention is to be kind to yourself today. Go ahead and set that intention now. And breathe into that intention. And we'll take 2 more deep cleansing breaths here as we come into the present moment to move our bodies. It's such a gift to be able to be here and move. And see if we can bring that awareness of the joy of movement into our practice today. So even if things are tight, even if there's a pose that doesn't quite work or is uncomfortable, just see if we can bring into the practice that joy of movement. And then straightening the legs if they're bent, reaching the arms up overhead for a nice long stretch. Let's go ahead and circle the wrists and ankles, point and flex the feet. And then we'll bring the left knee into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze here. We're just going to come into a lion twist. So grab the knee with the right hand, rolling over to the right side of the body. Extend your left arm out to the side. Couple of breaths here. And we're going to go ahead and wake up this left shoulder as well. So we'll reach the arm up overhead, sweeping it up towards the sky and then all the way over to the right. And we're going to bring it back to the left by pulling with a little resistance, just like you're pulling the string of a bow back, and then reach it all the way across back to its starting position. So sweep it up overhead, reach it up, come all the way across, and then pull that string of your bow all the way back. Let's do that again. Inhaling as you come up and over. And exhale, pull it back. And extend through the fingertips of the left hand. So like you're going to reach the wall with your left fingertips. And then we'll come back to the back and switch sides. So now right knee comes in. Give yourself a little squeeze here. We're also waking up our digestion here. Squeezing into the belly. And then we'll roll to the left side, reach the right arm out away from you. Maybe the head turns to look at the right hand. And then we'll go ahead and sweep the arm up overhead and then pull the string of your bow back. And again, reach it up and over, inhaling. And as you exhale, pull it back nice and slow. Reach through the fingertips. Again, reach it up. And exhale, pull it back. And then roll back onto your back. Squeeze that knee in again. And let's bring both feet to the floor now. Knees bent. And you can take your arms out to the sides. Let's try cactus arms today. So we want to have the elbows bent, the backs of the hands on the floor, palms facing the ceiling. Now we're going to take the feet out as wide as your mat. And we're going to let the knees fall to one side. Maybe the head turns to look the other way. Take a couple breaths here. And this is an option if it feels good in your body. You can take the outside leg, the leg that's off your mat, and take the heel and place it on top of the knee on the other leg. And this will just kind of deepen the stretch. But if this doesn't feel good on your knee or your hip, then just leave it alone and just come back to the regular pose here. So just an option. This is helping us to create more awareness in the body. So really, really listening to the body. What is it trying to tell you? And then go ahead and unhook the foot if it's on there. And let's try the other side. So knees go the opposite direction. Again, you can stay here or you can hook the foot on top of the knee to deepen the stretch. One more breath here. Noticing what's different about this side. And then unhook the foot. Bring the legs back up. We're going to roll onto the side so that we can come up to our seated position. Just come into an easy seated pose. Sitting up nice and tall. If this is uncomfortable to sit this way, you can always sit on a block, a bolster, a pillow, blanket to elevate the hips a little bit. That sometimes helps if this position doesn't work. And now let's go ahead and bring the shoulders up to the ears. And as you exhale with a sigh, you're going to release the shoulders down. Let's do that again. Inhale up and exhale, release. So now our shoulders are nice and relaxed. Let's inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, palms together down to the heart. Again, inhale it up. And exhale, bring it in. From here, we're going to take the left hand down to the floor. The right arm's going to sweep up and overhead. And we're reaching through the fingertips of the right hand as we anchor that right hip down into the floor. So like the hip and the arm are pulling away from each other. And then we're going to sweep that arm forward, rounding the upper back. So we really want to have a rounding happening through the shoulder blades. So we're almost, I don't know if you can feel it, but there might be like a nice stretch on that shoulder blade. And then sweep the arm back up and sweep it forward again. And let's do that a few times. Moving with your breath. Last one. Inhale it up. Exhale, hand comes behind the head. Now we're going to rotate the chest towards the ceiling. So the elbow is going to go towards the back wall, chest and heart open towards the sky. Reach through the fingertips and then come all the way up. Let's try the other side. Left hand reaches up and over, reaching for the wall. Again, that left hip and left arm are reaching away from each other. Getting a nice side bend here. And then we'll start to round the upper back, bring that left arm forward, and then sweep it up again. And exhale it down. And Sweep it up. And again. And sweep it up. And last one. Sweep it up. Bring the hand behind the head. Start to rotate the chest. Open towards the sky. Take a breath here. Reach through the arm and come all the way up. Reach the fingertips out away from you as you lower the head. Chin comes to the chest. We're stretching now the back of the neck. And I just want you to tune in here to the sensations in the neck and just ask your neck what movement it would like here. So maybe there's like a semicircle that happens. Maybe there's a little ear to shoulder. And making sure we do both sides. Just whatever movement your neck is really longing for today. And bring the head back down to the middle of the chest. And as you're ready, go ahead and lift up. Reaching the arms up as we inhale. We're going to cross the right arm over the left. Bring the palms together, either the palms or backs of the hands. If this doesn't work in your body, to cross the elbows, you just cross the arms and grab onto opposite shoulders here. So either way, eagle arms. And now we're going to lift the elbows up. And then a third variation, if you like to, would be to do a little bit of like a cat-cow. So we would lift up, reach the chest up, and then draw everything in, rounding the back. And this gives a really nice stretch through in between the shoulder blades. So see if you can notice the sensations here. Inhale as we reach up. And exhale, draw it in. And if this doesn't work for you, you can stay stationary as well. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale. Draw it in. Come back to your starting position. Release the arms. Shake it out a little bit. And we'll do the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, cross the left over the right this time. Reach the elbows up. Find your eagle arms. And then if you like to, you can reach it up and draw it in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, draw it in. One more time. And coming back to your starting, release the arms. Shake it out. Now we're going to walk the hands forward, coming into like a forward fold. So the top of your head will start to reach down for the floor. And you may be up here, and that's okay. Come as far as is comfortable. And then use your breath to perhaps come in a little deeper. We want to be mindful of the body. So if your body's saying slow, make sure you go slow. We don't want to pull anything. We want to be really respectful and gentle with our bodies. And then slowly, carefully walking yourself back up. We're going to do that again, but we're going to switch the cross of the legs to get the other hip involved this time. So now starting to walk it forward again, tucking the chin, let the top of the head float down. And notice what's different about this side. Maybe this side is a little tighter. Maybe it's a little looser. Maybe it's the same. Keep the breath flowing. And walking yourself back up. From here, we're going to take the soles of the feet together, coming into butterfly. And we'll take your two peace fingers around your big toes, or you can also grab onto the ankles. And so as you're pulling your feet up, you're pulling down with your feet. So there's a little resistance there. And then we'll start to hinge forward. So now we're getting the inner parts of the hips. And breathe. And slowly coming back up, grabbing the outside of the knees, bring the knees together, extend the legs out, and shake them out. Let's come on to the knees actually. So sitting back on the heels, if this is uncomfortable, you can stick a block or a blanket or something right under here, and that takes a little bit of that pressure off of the knees. Totally up to you. So we're here, we're sitting up really nice and tall, nice long spine, elevated through the top of the head. We're going to inhale, arms up overhead as we rise up. And exhale, hands together, sink it back down. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, coming back down. This time as we rise up, staying up, bring the hands back into the heart. And then from here, we're going to reach the hands behind, interlace the fingers, pulling the hands down towards the floor, shoulders wrap back. So the shoulder blades are really squeezing together. And then maybe the hands lift away from the hips. Now you can stay here, or you can try coming into rabbit pose, where we come down to child's pose and then reach the arms up overhead. So the top of your head is on the floor, chin is tucked. Tailbone comes towards the heels. And then when you're ready, lowering the arms and coming back to your kneeling pose. And just pause here for a moment. And then from here, we're going to come into a little bit of side plank. So we're coming hands to the floor, kick your left foot off your mat, right leg goes straight back, spin that back heel so that the inside edge of the right foot is on the floor. Right hand comes under the shoulder, left hand under the shoulder, right arm reaches up for the sky. A little side plank here. If you want to take it a little further, stack the feet, you can. Or another option would be to lift the right leg, engage the core. And then we'll go ahead and come back to our starting pose. Now reaching the arm up overhead, reaching through the rib cage. So nice, again, side stretch here. Take the hand. My earbuds always fall out when I'm on my side like this. Reaching through the hand. Now taking the hand behind the head, like you're gonna do a little sit up. And then again, rotate the heart open towards the sky. And then go ahead and let that right hand find the floor and come back to all fours. Other side, kicking your right foot off the mat, left leg goes straight back and then rotate it to the inside edge. Right hand under the shoulder, left arm reaches up. And don't forget to reach through the head here. So not letting the head just like droop here, but actually extending like you're gonna touch the wall with the top of your head. Again, here you can stack the feet. You could try lifting that left leg up in the air, engaging through the core here. Breathing, pushing down into the right hand, and then lower the leg. Reach through that left arm, little arc of the body, getting that side stretch again. And then we'll take the hand behind the head, rotate the heart, the chest open. Breathe. And coming back to all fours. Let's do a little cat-cow here. Inhaling as the belly drops. Exhale, push down into the hands. Round the back. Again, inhale. Tailbone lifts. Exhale, push down around the back. And one more time. And coming back to all fours. From here, we're going to come into puppy pose. This is sort of like a down dog, but on your knees. So you can come down to the forearms first. That can sometimes be helpful. And then you can stay here if this is enough of a stretch, or you can try walking the arms out, bringing the forehead down to the floor. So your hips are going to stay aligned right over the knees. And then maybe you come up onto the tips of the fingers and let the heart sink down. Maybe the chin comes down. And then come back to your forearms, and you can either come up from here or you can slide forward, come all the way down to the belly, and we'll come into some low cobra. So now the hands are going to slide back underneath the shoulders, tuck the elbows into the rib cage, tops of the feet press down into the floor. So maybe the knees lift a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and slowly roll up through the upper body, breathe, and exhale, roll down. So we're literally just using the strength of the back here. You can imagine a little string kind of pulling you up from the center of the shoulder blades. So as you inhale, again, push down into the feet, rolling through the back, and exhale down. Let's do that again. Inhale, roll it up, shoulder blades squeeze together, and exhale down. Go ahead and make your way back to child's pose. So knees can be together, or you can take them wide. Arms can be outstretched. You can also fold your arms and rest your forehead on your arms, or you can always use a block here. Breath is moving. When I first started doing yoga, child's pose was very uncomfortable for me. I didn't have the flexibility in my body yet, and so child's pose with a block was actually a lot more comfortable for me. So find what works best in your body. Close the eyes and breathe. This is you resting, taking care of yourself, giving your body what it needs today. We don't spend enough time being intentional with rest, but we really need it. Our lives are so hectic, so busy, and we're not, we have to take time for rest. Take time when you can just turn everything off. Turn off the brain. Turn off the worry. Turn off the external world. And this is a chance to go inward, right? Especially in child's pose. It's just you in your own internal world here. It's a chance to reconnect with your body. And just spend a couple more breaths here. Noticing and witnessing the internal landscape. And whatever comes up today is okay. I used to think that there was, certain things that shouldn't make it to the surface. There's certain feelings and events that I didn't want to think about, so I would shove them somewhere else. But the healthier thing is to allow it to rise and just witness it and know that it will pass, right? Nothing lasts forever. Even if we're going through a hard time right now, it's not going to last forever. You can just stay present. All right, so as you're ready, we'll go ahead and start making our way into downward facing dog. So coming back out, and we'll tuck the toes and start to lift the hips. Let's keep the knees nice and bent as we come into our first down dog today. Nice bent knees, pushing into the hands so that the belly comes towards the thighs. And remember, we want that little rotation in the upper arms. The feet are both facing forward and your gaze is in between the feet. And now starting to push into the toes, lift the hips as high as they'll go, straightening the legs, and then start to lower the heels. And then you can pedal through the feet. And just begin to notice. What does it feel like? What are the backs of my legs feeling like today? What's my spine feeling like today? And then we'll start to gently come up to the top of your mat into a forward fold. So deeply bent knees again. Let the top of the head hang down. Let the upper body just hang like a rag doll. If this is really intense on the backs of your legs, you can bend your knees even more. Another option would be to come up to a wall and let your butt rest on the wall. And that can help you sometimes get into a deeper stretch if you have really tight hamstrings. We're going to slowly roll up, pushing down into the feet, using the legs to unfurl the spine until we come all the way up to our Tadasana, mountain pose. Feet are hip width distance apart. Arms at your sides. Find your breath. Relax the shoulders. Just notice what it feels like to stand here for a moment. And then we'll take the feet a little wide, take the hands at the hips, soft knees. We're going to do our hip circles. These are like my favorite right now. I just feel like I get so much good stuff with my hips and my knees and my ankles because we're moving through all of these big joints. And then we'll move around the other direction. Pop, pop, pop. All right, and then coming up to the top of your mat, you can have your blocks handy if you think you might like to use them. We're going to work through a little flow here. So standing in your Tadasana for a moment, find your breath. And then we'll inhale, arms up overhead. We're going to swan dive, hinge at the waist, lead with the heart all the way down. Inhale halfway, hands can come to the shins or the floor. And exhale back down. Step back with the right leg. And then we're going to drop the knee, keeping the toes tucked as you sweep the arms up. So here we are in our low lunge. Might be feeling this through the front of the right thigh. And we want to keep this front knee over the ankle. Reach, reach, reach. From here, we're going to add a little twist. So the right arm is going to come forward. So it'd be the opposite of whatever knee is forward. The right arm forward, left arm back. Little twist. Inhale, reach it up. Back to center and exhale, twist. Again. And twist. Now we're going to hold the twist. You can stay here or you can try at a back bend. Maybe you reach, woo. This is a good time for a block. Maybe you reach the left hand for the back leg. Maybe it comes to the glutes. The right arm reaches up and back. Maybe you reach your heel. Woo. Maybe you lose your balance. That's okay. All right, coming back to your low lunge, untuck the toes now. And we're going to slide the tailbone back, lifting the front toes. So that front leg is either going to be slightly bent or straight, lifting the toes, and then we'll slide forward again. So we're just moving back and forth. If you wanted to take it a little deeper, you would lift the back knee coming into this low lunge and then keep the knee lifted as you slide back and forth. Just another option. And then go ahead and come back to your starting lunge. From here, hands will come down to the floor, or you can keep your right hand on the block. We're just going to twist here. Left arm reaches up. And you can always lift that back leg as well, if you like. Float the hand down. Now we're going to lift up into warrior two. So we're going to lift the back knee, rotate that back foot so the toes point towards the long side of your mat, and then cartwheel the arms all the way up warrior two. Beautiful. From here, we want to check in with our feet. That front heel should dissect the back arch. Reach through the fingers. And we're going to do a little slide back and forth. So we're going to slide back towards the back of your mat. Legs are going to stay right where they are. So we're just moving the upper body. Reach for the back of your mat and then reach it forward. And see how far you can go. Reach it back and reach it forward. One more time. And coming back here, let's do a little extended side angle. Elbow comes to the knee. Right arm reaches up overhead. Let's take the hand to the back of the head again. Rotate the heart open. And hands come down either side of the front foot. Rotate the back toes. We're going to come into a three-legged dog. So we're going to lift this front leg. Lift it up, three-legged dog. Bend the knee. And then rotate the knee open towards the ceiling. So a little stretch here. Back to three-legged dog. And lower the leg. Rotate forward into your plank. Plank can be knees up or knees down. You want to just have a nice long spine here. So reaching through the crown of the head, reaching through the tailbone. Then we're going to reach the head as far forward as it will go as we lower down chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Taking 2 breaths in down dog. Taking any movement in down dog that you like to. And come up to the top of your mat, forward fold. Let's do a halfway lift here. And float down. Bend the knees, send the arms wide, come all the way up. Exhale, hands into heart. Take a pause here, find your breath. And we'll do the other side. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, fold at the waist. Swan dive down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, down. Bend the knees, send the left foot back this time. And come down onto the knee. So right knee is bent, keeping that knee over the ankle. Back toes are tucked. Reach the arms up. Beautiful. Breathe. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. So if your shoulders start to come up like this, see if you can relax the shoulder blades down the back. Now we're going to twist again. So we turn towards our bent knee. Left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Again. Now this time we might reach for that back leg and the left arm might reach up, or you might stay here. Totally up to you. And notice, I noticed I have better balance on this side. What do you notice? And back here and bring the arms all the way down. Now we're going to shift back and forth. You can untuck the back toes and shift it back, lifting the front toes and slide it forward. So we're sliding back and forth here, bending and straightening the front leg. Again, if you want to take it a little further, you could lift the back leg and slide back and forth. Again, perfect opportunity to use your blocks, or the hands can be on the floor. Up to you. Let's do one more. And then go ahead and slide back down. Set the the back knee down. Your left hand will either come to the floor or to your block. Right arm reaches up, little twist. Again, you could lift the back leg. Couple breaths. And then lower everything back down. From here, we're gonna come into that three-legged dog. We're gonna send this front leg back. So lift the back leg and then send the right leg back up towards the sky. Bend the knee and then rotate that hip open towards the ceiling. Maybe you gaze under the right arm, back to three-legged dog, and lower the foot. And then I missed the whole section. So we're gonna bring that right foot forward again. Rotate the back toes to face the long side of your mat and cartwheel the arms up, warrior two. So come back into your warrior two, sink down into the hips, reaching through the arms. And we're gonna slide back and forth. So moving as far as you can. Remember that the legs are gonna stay the same. We're just reaching through the upper body. Building some heat. And then coming back here, we're gonna come back into your extended side angle. Elbow comes to the knee, left arm reaches up overhead. Breathe. Maybe you bring the hand to the back of the head and rotate the heart open. And bring both hands down to the floor. Let's step back to downward facing dog. And then rotate into your plank. So again, plank can be knees up or knees down. Hands under shoulders and lower down. Inhale for Cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Couple of deep cleansing breaths here. And come up to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale down. Bend the knees, send the arms wide, come all the way up. And exhale, hands come into heart. Pause here. Find your breath. Find the soles of your feet. Finding the soles of our feet helps us to ground our energy, especially if we're feeling a little stressed, feeling a little out of body, or maybe even traveling and you just need to like reset and come home. Finding your feet, your bare feet on the floor is a great way to do that. And for extra bonus points, the real benefit would be to do it outdoors. I don't know if you've ever heard of the term earthing, but putting our feet in the grass actually helps release negative ions and helps restore our energy. So if you have a way to get outdoors in the grass barefoot and take that conscious kind of deep breaths in the grass, a great way to reset after a stressful time or a busy week. It's just a really great way to do that. So from here, let's go ahead and come down onto the floor again, or however you would like to do that. We'll come onto our backs. So finding your way onto your back, arms at your sides. Let's walk the feet in towards the glutes. We're going to come into a little bridge pose. If you're feeling like you need a little extra care today, I would do a supported bridge. So you can use a block or a blanket or a pillow right underneath your tailbone. So couple options here. One would be to keep the hands at your sides, palms facing down, and then just lifting up through the hips. If you want a little extra support, then you slide the block underneath the tailbone and just rest here. If you want to challenge yourself, then you're pushing down into the feet. The knees stay in line with the hips. So if your knees start to go wide, see if you can bring them in. Another way to do that would be to put a block between the knees. That helps just keep everything in alignment. So wherever you are in your bridge pose, find your breath. And then if you're holding yourself up, go ahead and lower down for a sec. We're going to take a pause. If you're on your block or pillow, just hang out there and keep breathing. And we'll try that one more time. Lifting the hips, bring the weight into the shoulders. Maybe you tuck the shoulders underneath you and interlace the fingers. That's another option here as you reach those hips for the sky. Breath is still moving. And then untucking the shoulders and slowly making your way back down. So now, whether you're on your block or not, go ahead and come all the way down and bring the knees into the chest for a little squeeze. Maybe you like to rock side to side if that feels good. And we're gonna make our way into our Shavasana. So if there's any other poses that we didn't get to today that you would like to do, now is a great time to do that. You are also welcome to take legs up the wall if that feels good. You could cover up with a blanket or put your sweater back on, socks back on. We're going to be here for a few minutes just relaxing. And sometimes it can get distracting if you get cold. So if you know you're going to get cold, go ahead and cover up with something. Sometimes it's nice to have something under the head. So go ahead and find yourself flat on your back, either with legs up the wall or legs extended, or you can do the same pose we did in the beginning with the knees bent, feet on the floor. It just depends on what your body is asking for today. When you find your final resting pose, go ahead and start to take some deep breaths. Inhale through the nose and exhale through an open mouth. Again. Continue to breathe in this way. And as you exhale, really release and let go. Sometimes it's helpful, even for me, to use the word release or let go as a mantra. So with each breath, I'm thinking, let go as I exhale. And that can be letting go of physical, emotional, really anything that you're ready to let go of. Maybe you don't even know and you're just going to repeat the words let go. This can be especially helpful as if you struggle to fall asleep at night. This can be another great mantra to help you just release the day. We're going to release everything that came before this moment, including your practice. This is your opportunity to reset and restore and come back to connection. allowing everything to fall away as you sink down deeper into the floor. As you sink down deeper into stillness. If the mind gets active again, just come back to the breath. And allowing the breath to get a little longer and slower. And then starting to bring some awareness to the body, noticing, scanning the body, taking a scan from the head to the toes, and just notice those same areas of tension or tightness are still there in the beginning of class. Notice if anything shifted. And then starting to bring some gentle movement to the toes and fingers, wrists and ankles. Maybe taking an overhead stretch as you make your way onto your side. And just pause on your side for a moment, staying in that inner world, but starting to integrate the outer world as well. Aware of both simultaneously. And then starting to make your way up to seated. And bringing the hands together, the thumbs pressed up against the heart. And calling to mind the intention that you set at the beginning of practice today. And taking that with you into the rest of your day. Peace, peace, nothing but peace. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.